All right, guys, welcome back to the Hypervision Podcast. It's your boy Fin Dog coming back at you. No, I'll be a little more serious. It is one part of the Hypervision Podcast. I am a co-host, Noah. I am here along with my good friend Drew.
Yo,
Drew,
yo,
how we doing,
yo.
man?
How we doing? No, I'm doing. Did you ask first? I think I cut you off again.
No, yeah, I mean, I did. I asked how you were doing. I know you've been on some excursions here in the past few weeks, so good to have you back here in the great state of Ohio, and yeah,
Yeah, I've been gone. I feel like a lot lately.
oh, but
Like weekends in
not good though.
Columbus, all over the place, and then a
Yeah,
week in Miami, and then just soccer whenever I'm not doing any of those things, and then the 2 nights that I think I've had free now, I have just played FIFA, um, because the new one's out. So been grinding.
yep,
Yeah,
yep.
but we're here now. For the foreseeable future, I don't really have anything going on, so
Finishing up.
more
So
from
when does
us.
soccer season end?
Um, in a
It's this month,
weird
right?
way,
Or no?
hopefully on the same day of Zach's wedding, which we are officially 1 month out from now. State finals is on the same day as his wedding. So if we make a run, I have a tough decision to make. It's an easy one, and I've already made it. I can't miss his wedding.
Ah,
Yeah. So
where is his? Where's his at? Is it in state?
yeah, it's here. It's pretty local.
Joe's is the one that's
Yeah.
that's in.
Joe was in
Okay,
Florida. That's in January.
okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. But I don't think it's near Columbus, which is the issue. If it was near Columbus, I could try to do like a High School Musical, like run from event to event type thing. But I don't think I can pull it off.
And then there's no way, I'm kind of switching gears, but there's no way that Columbus could host some of these games that they're having the crew next
They
for
can. They
Jake.
can host the final. They won't host
That'd be sick.
Sunday's game because New England finished above them. But if they beat New England, and then if Colorado loses, I think that's what it was. I think Colorado was first. I forget which one it is, but one of the teams that is in the Western Conference Finals has less points than the crew did. So the crew would have to win, and that team has to win also. That has less points. So that way the crew can host the final again. If not, it's in Colorado, most likely. Or it's in New
Okay.
England if they lose. But they won't lose. Yeah. They just shut down the number
Jake's
one team. The game they won against
Jake's
Charlotte was
bagging.
number one.
Jake's bagging.
Striker was like 6'5", and Jake is 6'1", I'd say. And he
Really?
finished the game with the most aerial duels won. It was a big game for him.
Sorry, I'm stuffing my face real quick.
Yeah, but
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
like I was saying, 1 month out from Zach's wedding today, the big day. I've started to think about at least writing my speech. I haven't put pen to paper or finger to iPhone notepad yet, but I've thought about it.
What are
Giving
you
it
in that one?
best man.
Oh,
That's why,
that's a
yeah,
big one.
I can't,
That's a big
you
one.
know, I can't
Yeah. You
miss.
can't miss that one. No. Mm-mm. So cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Like I said, good to have you back. Yeah, I mean, I'm down to talk about whatever today, man. I don't think you came here with the specific thing we wanted to talk about. So,
Yeah. I mean, when have we recently?
anything on your mind? Yeah, I understand. Shout out to the sponsors real quick. Sorry. Um,
We got,
uh,
hang on.
go go check out Yep Shingy Golf. What I was really getting at is promoting our store. Uh, or it's our store, but Drew, he did the heavy lifting. So
If we
go
want
make
to
sure you go.
throw it out right now, I'm getting notified. Isaac Smith, where's the camera?
Oh boy,
Putting in an order right there.
go there you
Getting all
go.
the notifications about that for all the things going through now. He's
Love to see it. Love
partaking
to
in the
see it.
fall collection. So
Okay.
there's that. But yeah, like Noah says, shout out sponsors. I don't remember what we have anymore at this point. Besides us, sponsor us. That dude over
Yeah.
there on the other side of that wall, you know who he is.
I,
Um,
I mean, honestly, I don't know because my picture is like this, so I literally only see your face right now,
the
just so
one
you
right
know.
behind me,
Like,
that wall, back behind me, Andrew.
okay, got it. Understood,
um, yeah. Let's
understood.
see. How
Cool.
do we break the ice to get you going now? So, if you've listened to last few 3-4 podcasts we've had, maybe like since Isaac's and on that we had, I think Noah has almost consistently said, "Man, I wish," or like said, "Yeah, I've got some things to say, but I'll wait." You know, you've heard it. You guys have heard it before. Whether or not you're even in the podcast or listen to the podcast, you've probably heard Noah do this. Every time there's a through ball in FIFA, you hear, "Man, I wish."
That's mainly, and I'll say that right now. That's mainly just because, like, man, it's like I either wish that one I wasn't offsides, or one that it would actually get to me. But
Yep.
it is what it is.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah. So anyway, Noah has teased for too long. Okay. And we've talked about it. He said, I think even recently in the last one we talk off camera. We have talked off camera. Surprisingly, me and Noah aren't just here for the podcast. We talk outside of this, actually. We've worked out our differences. We've squashed the beef.
There was no beef. There was no beef. I promise.
We're gonna pick his brain today.
All right,
I
yeah,
I know
yeah.
for
We
sure
can
I should
circle
have
back.
gone back and really found those ones that we were like where it
Mm.
was where you really um
Mhm.
started
Yeah, I mean,
to tail away
we don't
from
have
it.
to.
But that, I don't
Yeah, we
prep
don't have
enough.
to do every. No, no, it's all good. I mean, we could do more advanced research and come back to this like later. Like we don't have to do everything like today. I mean, like I plan on sometime in the near future, being able to do this more. So, um, but yeah, I have the time today. So yeah, anything that comes to your mind, just let me know. I'll speak my mind right now. Let's hammer it, baby. Come on.
It sounds like you betting right now.
Betting's been interesting, man.
We don't need to
That's
get
a
into
topic
that.
for yeah, that's a topic for another day, man.
Okay. So I know our last episode was I said taking a backseat to your own life. What did I talk about in that one? I don't even remember.
Um,
Was that the one where I brought up the video I saw of like, hey, think of what you love or whatever and make a list? And then said, how long was it until you list yourself? Was that one or was that 2 episodes ago?
ooh, yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, I don't.
It's been 2 weeks since I put up a wow, man. It's been a long time. All right.
It's all good. I mean,
We'll work this out.
you've been away you've been away for 2 weeks, pretty much.
Yes, I have. But still.
It is what it is.
We have a podcast. Got it. All right. Lock in, Noah. Lock in.
I'm here. Let's go. I'm ready.
All right. Let me think. I can get it out of you. I just need to get myself going.
All right.
Okay. The first thing I can think of off top of my head was the night drives that I was talking about, I
Ooh,
had
okay.
that 2-hour drive back from
Ooh,
Tyler's house that one weekend, and I had like, I was like, I had these realizations. I had like not these like whole coming together moments, but just like just time to myself, and I thought about things and just was like, you know what? This is how I felt lately. And I've talked about this before, so I'm not going to go into it before I rant. You then said, oh man, we had a night drive. And I was like, oh, did you? Was it nice? You're like, yeah, we had some realizations. And I was like, let's hear them. And you said, no. I was like, okay. So
yeah. No,
yeah,
no.
let's pick your brain here.
Yeah, this is great. This is great. Yeah, so yeah, I have I love night drives. I feel like night drives kind of go in kind of coexist with like just thinking by yourself to a T, maybe, which can be good and bad. I sometimes feel that I like thinking my or thinking my own thoughts. I guess basking in my thought. What's the right word for that? Like um, I don't know.
Welcome to my world.
I'm trying to
Can't
think
find
now.
that word.
This is yeah. Sitting in your thoughts. I guess,
Yeah,
and like kind of just like thinking about life and the world and whatnot, things like that. So um, uh, I'm trying to say this because I think it's good and bad. I feel like sometimes it's good for me, but then sometimes I wonder if it's bad because I'm maybe thinking too far ahead or thinking something is. I have it in here, man. I have it.
you got it.
It's just um it can be bad for you too. Is what I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like you think too deep, things like that.
Yeah, like
But
overthinking.
anyway, yes, correct, perfect. Um, so basically, on that ride that I was talking about, whenever you were talking about, I was like, yeah, I had a realization. Really for me, I think it's just thinking about, it's just thinking about life. Kind of where I'm at now. Where I want to be. What I have now and where I want to be is really all that I really think about sometimes on those rides. And for that one specifically, it was definitely like job related, where I'm at here, and but it was also like just normal life stuff. I won't lie, like relationship stuff was in there, thinking about that stuff, just kind of just really thinking like, where I see myself, what, and how I can progress in the coming years. And I don't know. I think it's weird because I feel like it helped, but again, I think for me, really, it's like I just need to do it. I need to do some of these things. I just feel like I think too much. Like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do this. Excuse me, whatnot. But then it comes down to it, and I can do something that is gonna progress that, and I just like, nah, I'm good. And I really like truly, that's one of my biggest like things that I'm working on right now is just, doing things that I know can help me, and I just decide not to. Truly, that's really it. I don't know. That's just kind of, my thoughts, and it's I think about that almost every day, at least once a day. Hey, like, what if I did this, or what if I applied for this job, or what if I, texted this person, or what if I, just think things like that. You know what I mean? It's just like stuff that goes on in my brain daily, and it's just I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of just what it is for me, for like thinking my own, uh, thinking my thoughts and night drives. That's kind of what I think about. So I don't know.
All right,
I got a little bit into it. A little bit into it.
you did. We got plenty more time. Um, so do you think we talked about this earlier of like you have the things in your mind of like what you want to do and the ways you want to improve, and then you said when it comes down to it, it's like a mm, meh next time.
It's almost like writer's block to a point. You
Do you
know?
think it comes down to that
I
thing
don't
that
know.
we said of like it's there, but you're almost scared to go for it to change because you've either gotten too comfortable with the way you live your life
Mm,
now and everything you do now that you don't want to lose the lifestyle you've had for so long that at the end of the day it works, it gets you through the day, it doesn't ruin things for you, but you get through your day. So why change it type deal?
I think you are. I think that's definitely part of it, if not maybe all of it. I really do think about that sometimes. It's like, yeah, like right now I'm a little too comfortable, and it's not it's I'm fine with being comfortable, but I don't like to be comfortable for too long. So yeah, I definitely feel like that has something to do with it. I really do. You know, it's just doing something else, and it's like I guess I wouldn't say I'm scared, but I think really it's just if something would let's just say for example a job. So like a job that I would really want. um I'm losing it, Drew. I'm sorry. I haven't, man.
You're still here.
I haven't done
You're
I haven't
still
done
here.
this in a while. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Um, so let's just say, for example, it's a job. I want the I want the job, um, but I don't want to like relocate or whatever. Let's just say, for example, um, and fuck me, I lost it again.
Okay,
Hold on,
I'll pick up while you think.
hold on.
So,
No, no, no. I got this.
okay, okay.
I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to turn this shit off. There's too many distractions. Hold on.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Lock in, Noah.
Yeah, I'm not locked in right now. I'm not locked in right now. All right. Okay. So good. We're good. So so yeah. I think really it's not about being scared. It's just you know I think part of it too is just failing honestly too. You know I'm comfortable at my job now. And I guess it is a little bit of a scare because I'm gonna say this. It's like I guess I am afraid of like trying something else new and not succeeding, and then being like almost back to square one. So that's kind of and where I'm at now. It's like I can just stay and be fine, but I know deep down that I want to progress, and I just need to do that. And I think that's a lot of it. Yes. So.
Yeah. I was gonna say when talking about the comfort thing and all, all of that, I don't think there's anything wrong with being comfortable. I think it's good for someone to be comfortable with what they do with their life. That's in a way how you know if you're doing well. Like if you're comfortable, then I don't see issues with what you're doing. Um, but I think it's when it comes to the point where, like you're talking about now, you see the things that you want to improve and you've actually like known that you can get there and you've seen the moments where you can improve, but you don't take it because you're too comfortable. I think that's where the comfort becomes an issue. You know, I think it's good to be comfortable when it's like in a situation where you don't need to be reaching for anything higher. You don't need to be
I
going
agree.
past what you're at.
I
If the opportunity
yeah,
is
I agree.
there for you to get better and you want to get better, but you don't take it because you're comfortable, that's on your own self then, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Which is either why it's important. I think I've even said this a couple times, but like I'm really feeling like I'm grasping it a bit more of like a lot of the things in your life really are just what you make it.
Hmm.
Like I talked about it at Tyler's wedding, I think. Like if you wanted to go into that and just have a fine, whatever, just a day with your friends, but not really anything fun, you could have made it that. Just whatever you wanted to make it, you could have made it that. And in most situations, I believe that that is true. There's always outliers. I understand that things happen that you can't control, but in most situations in your life, it is what you make it. And like this past week in Miami, um, I'll just do a quick thing on just like the stuff that I went through with that. Like I think it came at probably the best time for me personally because
Mm.
not that I needed it, but in terms of that, like I think currently I'm at a point in my life where I'm the happiest by myself that I ever have been. And
Mm.
there's a lot of times where I'm not actually alone at those conferences in Miami because there's 3,800 people at that conference. So, like, there's people around, obviously, but I'm not going to go talk to all 3,800 people. And they're not all in the same room at the same time every time.
Hmm.
And I'm
Hmm.
with my dad for part of it here and there. But just when there's like if he would like be away and things, or if he was done for the night and we were still doing like networking and party things, like I would have to be on my own, you know? I think
Yeah.
at any other point in my life besides these last like 4 or 5 months, it would have been a lot harder for me to go through that. Like I probably could have just gone up to my room and called it for the night or whatever, and I wouldn't have enjoyed the weekends as much as I did. It is what I made of it because I felt like I was in a really good spot and I was comfortable and confident with myself that like I can be in the situation alone without people I really know. Like there's a couple people I made friends with here and there that I hung out with on some of these days, but um yeah, I think the fact that I have really tried to focus on like dealing with my own problems myself and you know with other people, just like talking about them and trying to work through them and spending time reflecting with myself and seeing how I can improve on things has helped me just like, reach this level where like, yeah, I've got myself in my own corner. And I think it's probably the first time in a long time I could have ever said that.
Wow. That's pretty awesome. I'm gonna, uh, I'm not like that. So I'm gonna be brutally honest.
I'm not
I'm
saying I
trying, man.
have it like that. Like, I just feel
Yeah,
like,
I understand, but at least
gotten better.
you're you're there. You're So what have you done? Have you like you said like self-reflection, like do you write things down? How did you go about that process?
I think I've just had a ton of night drives.
It's fair.
The amount of times I've been up to Columbus and all this stuff, and then like whether it's at Tyler's or I go to watch one of Jake's games or I have my soccer games, like soccer season, all the time you get a night drive. And I don't know if I'm banking on them too much, but it's just that like it really is just a moment where I have nothing else going on. Yeah. Like
Hmm.
all day long, like I wake up probably at 7:45, shower and go to work, you know, and then I'm at work and I'm not actually alone by myself with just time to sit and reflect and do what I want, from 8 to 4. Like I have other people around me. I have work to do. I have other things going on. It's just, there's things happening around me there. And I go straight from there to practice, or I go straight from there to a game. So for 80% of my day, I'm always just doing things that I can't really sit down and go, all right, let me work on me. Let me think about myself. It's just like, when I'm on those drives is when I finally have like, oh, this was a 45-minute drive out to the game. This was, a game in Columbus. I've got an hour and a half drive back, 2 hour drive home. Like it's just me and my thoughts for the next 45 hour and a half, 2 hours. Um, so, I mean, even then, like it's a very early podcast we had of like just how powerful music can be too, I think.
Absolutely.
Just like having music on just that fits the right kind of mood and it just kind of like settles you in a little bit, I think. And I
Hmm.
mean, like there's really like um like word heavy songs out there in terms of like what the words actually mean, kind of thing. That
Yeah.
just like, like you think about it and you go, all right, am I doing that with my life? Or is that something I worry about? Is that something I struggle with? Is that something, and even if it's not, like if it's a pretty sad song, like I'm not going to sit here and say sad songs aren't the best songs. They really are. They just sad songs are better. Um, but they're sad, and that's the issue. Um, but like, there's a lot of songs out there that like I know are definitely sad that like they don't really apply to me. A lot of the words don't like really cut into what I have felt and dealt with in my life. Um, but like they are thought provoking and they get you thinking and they get you going and asking questions to yourself that you normally don't probably. And I don't know, I feel like through a lot of those and just like taking more of an effort kind of to reach out to people and have real and genuine conversations with them. I feel like, you learn things from them, from their experiences. You then, try to put that back into your life. And it's just a little bit more of like, okay, I guess I have lacked in that a little bit. I haven't really focused on, I've talked about this a lot, of the way I communicate to people and how it actually comes off and how it's conveyed, you know, or just, internally with my own emotions, like how to deal with those better, how to process them better, um, how to express myself in a more clear way and streamline my communication, whatever that is. Just like how I talk to people, how people perceive me. Um, you know, that's a lot of what it is, I think. Just a whole overhaul to giving myself time to think about myself, reflecting, and then, when I have the chance and, when it's around, making more of an effort to have genuine um, conversations with other people.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I think that's good advice. I think, I think a lot. I feel, and um, like I said, it can be good or bad, but you know, I don't really think I have those. I think I do enough self-reflection. I don't feel like I haven't had those genuine conversations like you're talking about though. I think I can say that with confidence. Um, Mainly just like with you. Like, I mean, if I really want to get down to it, like I could legitimately talk about like personal life or like uh things like that with like say Josiah. Like if you want to have like a genuine just like a deep talk, like I know that I can. But like besides that, there's really nobody in my life that it's like except for my parents obviously, but like outside of them, it's like it's really just probably you and just I guess like I don't know like if I want to talk about some like deep stuff like I know like we can do that, so I don't know. I guess I just need to do more of that because I
I
feel
don't
like
think
that
the
helps
number of
because
people is an issue either.
no no
Yeah.
no I agree. I just feel like I need to talk to just talk more like out loud because I feel like I talk to myself. I talk to myself. I think I have these like I think too much, I feel like sometimes. And it's like sometimes I get in my own head and it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's not necessarily a good thing. So, um, yeah, definitely need to work on that a little bit. So,
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna happen. I across these months where I'm saying am I happy with myself that I ever have been in my life. Probably it hasn't been every day. It's just like the best day of my life type kind of thing.
sure. Yeah, yeah, sure. I mean, everybody has their good and bad days, right? I mean,
Yeah, like you're gonna overthink about things. Um, it's just a lot of it's how you can react to it, really, and how quickly you can get back on track. You know,
yeah, yeah.
because I'm really trying to get out of that mindset of like just trying to work on, oh, I've got a real spurt of confidence, or like I want to just like right now I'm feeling good, so I'm gonna go for this. Like I want to try to get in a better mindset of just like anytime I get down, I just try to bring myself right back up, try to get myself back into the place that I was before, where I was feeling good and like happy with myself and being of which is where I stand, instead of just like a flat line kind of plateau, just like, oh well, it's getting me through the day type thing. And then it's just like, oh well, I'm down. We'll just ride this down until, we eventually rise back up. And it's just
Hmm.
the ebbing and flowing of just plateauing at whatever gets me through the day isn't really what I want to go for anymore.
Yeah.
But like I've said,
No.
we're heading into that time of year where I don't know, it's probably statistically, I don't know. I'm just saying statistically, because I assume that is a correct word to use for this. That like fall and winter are most people's downtimes in terms of like their mental health and how they feel. I think
Yeah.
was it yesterday we just went through like National Mental Health Day, and
Hmm.
like no one knew about it,
Yeah. Yeah.
which for how big I feel like mental health has become and like how important it is now, how stressed it is to be like to be mentally strong and to focus on your mental health, for no one really to even know or see anything about it is kind of crazy.
Kind of telling you.
Yeah. Um and I've said like before, like throughout this fall collection and fall movement I'm going into with the type of content and stuff, like, trying to post content and make talks and podcasts about, like, you know, ways, not even ways to not fall into that type deal, but just like, I don't know. I think I want to try to get more people on and just kind of pick their brain about like how they feel about the fall and all this stuff, and getting out of summer and that natural lull period where people just kind of drop off a little bit. I want to,
Yeah,
I don't know if I want to like pick into the psychology of that, of like why, because if you think about it, there's so many great things in the fall. Like you've got my birthday, number one. Um, but like the weather is great, like everyone loves the
yeah,
fall weather. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I'm not trying to cut you off, but I love the fall weather. I think it's fine. I think, well, and I'll tell you this, I despise the winter weather. I do that, but I'm down for a nice cool, what, like low, like mid 50s, like give me like a hoodie and some sweatpants type
yeah,
deal. Like yeah, I'm down, man. I'm down for it. But yeah, once it gets to that to that like legitimate snow and winter side, then it's like, all right, man. The only thing getting me through that is just the holiday season at that point. So and that's where the vibes are the most high in that season, at least for me. But no, no, fall's great, man. I'm down. I'm down with the fall. It's funny you say that. I was actually thinking about the other day. You know, I love the fall weather because like especially like where I grew up, like just to like play outside still and just like memories of that came back and yeah, it was good. It was good.
yeah. Now it's
Big fan
creepy
of
if you do
fall.
that.
What?
If you play outside.
Yeah, right. Like, ah, man, we had it good as kids, man. We had it real good. Mm,
Yeah.
oh well. But yeah, no, fall's great. Fall's great, man.
Yeah.
I love fall.
Yeah.
Your birthday
Um,
too.
it is was.
Good stuff. Was.
Uh, but I mean, yeah, it's just, it always comes down to a time where people always feel like they're at their lowest. They talk about it, like I've even felt that
Yeah,
way. Just like it's just gloomy, it gets to you a little bit. Um, I don't know. I want to try to find ways to talk about those kinds of things, but we'll figure it
sure.
out when we get there.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
that's what I'm saying. I think I agree with you about like the fall winter time being like that. But like I said, I feel like at least for a little bit, like it's those vibes you have like what Thanksgiving you have Christmas. I feel like those kind of help a little bit,
yeah,
but no, I definitely agree. It's definitely it is
yeah,
a gloomy time. You barely see the sun. It's like what are we doing? Just gray skies. It's like come
yeah.
on, man.
Well, and I think part of what I'm feeling of what I want to go with is like what I just talked about a little bit ago of like, I don't want to live my life based on like lulls anymore, of like riding waves of up and down and up and down. Because when you think about it, more often than not, people look at summer as a huge high and they just kind of ride
Yeah,
that for a few months. And then it's just like, well, summer's over, plummet right back
yeah,
down. Reality. Um, and it's a bit less like that, I think, when you actually work and you're not in school anymore, probably just because you don't get 2 or 3 months off unless you're a
yeah.
teacher. But like, it still has, some truth to it, at least, of like summer is looked at as the high points, like spring, summertime. And I think I just want to like reiterate or like, I don't know, try to show people that you don't have to live it that way. You can try to find ways, like look at yourself and look at what you want to do. I guarantee a lot of the things that like when summer's over, you go, well, I tried, I tried to hit these goals. I tried
Mm,
to work on this thing this year, but now that
yep,
summer's
yep.
over, let's just chalk it, throw it back to maybe January for some New Year's resolutions that I keep for a week, and then try it again in the summer.
Okay.
There's no,
I see where you're going. I
yeah,
see where you're going.
there's
Okay.
no real need for a lot of. I'm sure some of them could be season based. If it was like, man, I really want to get good at surfing. Sure, good
Yeah.
luck. I mean, maybe go abroad then, but yeah, that one
Nah,
I'll
at that
concede.
point, my argument would be, hey, you better be good at skiing or snowboarding, one of the two.
See,
Go.
look, solutions. There you go. What's next? You know, look at yourself
Yeah.
and, kind of like just think about those things, those goals you have, those things that are weighing you down that you didn't hit maybe or that aren't going well in your life. Reflect on it. Talk to someone about it. I am almost positive and I'm willing to go to an argument with you. Not an argument. I'll talk to you probably.
A healthy debate.
Healthy debate on whether or not you truly had to get that done in the summer. Now, if it is truly season based, I don't want to hear it. All right, I get it. You can't go to the beach and surf like you probably could anymore. It's dangerous out there. It's dangerous in the summer anyway, but it makes more sense, I guess. You can't. What are summer things? Truly summer things. I don't know. You guys know what I mean. What, it doesn't matter. But like, there's just trying to just keep yourself at a point where you're going as high as you can with it, and like keeping yourself focused on your goals. And yeah, you're gonna hit a period where it's gonna go down. But it's not just, well, that's just how it is. Let's just ride the down for a little bit. It's say it's November, it's almost, it's after Thanksgiving, it's a little gloomy, early December. Christmas comes in a little bit, I'll worry about it then. When it's a happier time, I'll try to work on what I wanted to then. Or, oh man, New Year's comes around then, let me work on it then. Noah said it before. I know he agrees with this. It's not one day, it's day one, right?
Yes, you're right.
It's a tough
You're right.
mentality to go with, especially if you're in me and Noah's camp of being comfortable with the way you've lived your life for the last 12 years, because
Yeah.
that's probably when we got comfortable with how we live.
Yeah.
But it's tough, and I understand that. But it's just it's finally is what is it gonna take for you to make that switch?
Yeah. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it takes sacrifice.
And I would.
There's things you're gonna have to cut probably.
Yeah. And
I've had to
I'd
play a lot
argue
less
I'm
video
trying to.
games, but
Yeah. Like I said, I think that's a practice what you preach mentality, but
yeah,
I'd argue, I'm still finding out what that is today. I mean,
yeah,
I'll be personally honest. Um, I'm gonna be on like I haven't cut anything out. You know, in the past, couple weeks or months or whatever. Uh, but I know that I can. So it's just again, when is it gonna be that? So it's tough, man.
yeah.
Life
And
is
it's
life.
going to be an ever
Life is
changing thing too.
yeah. Life is tough, and this thing up here, man. The brain is it's one heck of a thing, man. And an organ, I
Yep,
guess. No,
yep.
organ. Yes. Okay. There we go. Thank you, science. It's just getting in your own head is something else, and the brain is very, very powerful, and it can tell you to do one thing and not do another, and yeah, it's just
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it's a dangerous place to be if you don't have control of your own
Oh
self.
yeah, oh yeah, very, very.
Yeah. There was actually even today, I don't know if you saw the ad. It was Norwich. They posted it yesterday for Mental Health Day. Um,
That's good.
it was chilling, I will say, at the very least. It got me a little bit.
A little bit.
I got a little teary eyed at work this morning when I watched it because I was like scrolling through and I saw that they did something for it, and I never like took the time to watch it. And this morning I was sitting there, um, and it was just so it was like these. It was just a shot of like these two guys that come into a Norwich soccer game. Um, and you can like see people like just like parts of people just around them, but it just keeps cutting from game to game to game to game of them sitting there. One of the guys is like always cheering and going crazy at the games. The other guy's just kind of sitting there and he's like seems almost like half wanting to be there and half he's just like I'm a Norwich fan. I've got season tickets. I always go with this guy. I'm going to be here kind of thing.
Hmm.
So like when they would score and cheer, he would be like the last one to stand up and just kind of be like, yeah, cool. It happened. Um, then the other guy's just going nuts the whole time. He loves it. He's doing all the chants. He's doing everything. Um, and then like one of the last clips it showed of them at games, the guy that was normally sad was wearing one of their scarves, and like after they get done celebrating, he goes to take the scarf off and give it back to the other guy, and he goes, no, 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 go ahead, you can keep it, don't worry about it. And then it cuts back to the next game, and both the seats are empty, and you see the guy coming in, and he sets the scarf down on the other guy's chair, like the super energetic and happy one, sets it down on his chair because they were showing that that guy was actually the one struggling and ended up killing himself. So I was like,
Wow.
I was watching that and I was like, oh, because the whole time I'm
It's a
watching
pretty.
it, I was just like, yeah, they're clearly showing this guy struggling. He's going through things, but people around him aren't noticing it. That's what I was thinking. It was like, this guy's clearly struggling. Like, he's not celebrating with them. He's barely talking to anybody when he's there. Obviously, he's the one struggling, but no one's talking to him. So it's going to be just like a video like, hey, we need to do a better job of focusing on that. And then they give you the whole switch, and it's like, you really can't tell sometimes. Like, someone could be living their life, doing everything they want. You look at that and you're like, man, I wish I was more like that fan, you know? Like, he loves being here. He loves doing all this. He's the happy guy. He's giving scarves away to people. He's letting people take his things. He's, all these kinds of things. And it just goes, you can't always tell. I was like, okay. Hit me in the heartstrings this morning, just
Gotta
tugging
hit
on
you a
them.
little bit.
I was like, yeah, that was, and I got a little, I was fighting it there. It's a
Hmm.
moving video. If you go look at Norwich and their mental health day thing, it's a good one. But I mean, yeah, that's even more reason I'm trying to be more intentional and present in talking to people.
Mm.
Um, Not that I would assume any of my friends are at that point right now, or that low, or very down, but like, it
No,
doesn't need to
yeah.
be it. Like, it shouldn't need for you to be like, oh, my friend is suicidal, for you to reach out to them.
I know, absolutely, absolutely. No, I definitely agree. Just shoot him a text, say, "Hey, just hope you're good, man."
Yeah,
Just something simple like that. And to anybody. I mean, it can be anybody. Uh, I'll be honest. I don't do it as much as as I should. That's actually one of the things that I have written down that I would like to really get better at. Not even people that I even like talk to like regularly. Man, it's like just people
yeah,
like I mean anybody. Old high school buddies that I still have numbers for, or just shoot them like an Instagram DM. Just say, hey man, just hope you're doing well. Stuff like that.
yeah.
It doesn't take much. So
It's one thing I do really appreciate about Isaac that we've had on a few episodes ago. He so like in that group chat with like Tyler and all his friends that I've been in recently, like some of the dumbest things I've ever read in my life have been in that group chat. Like, everyone knows what the group chat's like. Even girls know what the group. I don't know what a girl's group chat's really like, but like, what a guy's group chat is like. Some of the dumbest, most outlandish things I've ever said in group chats there.
yeah,
But like, on a, I don't know about weekly, but on a pretty like consistent basis, Isaac will be in the group chat and just like in the morning or like in the middle of the day, just be like, hey, think about you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. And like, just those kind of things where like, you don't have to always be saying something stupid, saying something outlandish, putting together a parlay kind of thing. Like, you can go in the group chat and just say, hey, love you guys, thinking about you.
yeah,
And some here and there he gets made fun of for it, because like, I think I brought up before, like, it's almost, you almost want to make fun of someone for like doing good things in their life that you're not doing, because I don't know, maybe it's an easier way to cope and be like, I should probably be trying to do that kind of thing too. Like, that's a really good thing, and I appreciate that he does
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, um, no,
No,
it's
I'll
a
never.
good reminder that he always gives out.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't wish any ill intent on anybody that wants to do that, man. I think sometimes, you just gotta sit back and realize it's like, hey, man, there's no need to laugh at this man. He's just
Yeah,
trying to help. I don't know. Maybe I'm just soft like that. I've been called soft too many times in my life, man. It's like whatever.
but at the end of
Sorry,
the
I'm a
day,
softie.
what it shows, like, from Isaac and people that do that, is like, you might not be going through something when he asked that. You might not be going through something any time before that or even after he asked that. But if something truly comes down to it, like that shows Isaac is someone you can go to, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that,
absolutely.
those kind of conversations that you've had them in the first place and you've set a foundation that like we have an open way to communicate here, man. Like anything is, it's all good. Like go for it. Talk about anything, anytime. All right. Like that's the kind of thing that like when it really comes down to it, you've got those people, and that's why I think it's
Yeah.
really important. I was really throwing myself off there because I was looking at the reflection and like I was like, I shouldn't be feeling the stitching in my left thumb because it's on the right side of the screen, but it's mirrored. Um,
Ah.
yeah, that threw me through a loop for a second. What was I saying?
Isaac, you can go to Isaac if you need
Yeah,
help.
so it's just it's good to know that you've at least put in the most serious way possible, put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And
I love how that's
um
just a living on meme. That's awesome. That's so awesome.
it will always be. But yeah,
Yeah.
you just like you put yourself out there and you've shown people that like if you ever need it, I'm here. I'm happy to talk about these things. It's just I think it's a very important thing that more people should be able to be comfortable with. You know,
Yeah.
nothing wrong with talking about your
Absolutely.
life, even if there's nothing going on.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think that's part of that's part of the reason why I love doing this. It's like you just sit here and you know talk
Mm-hmm.
about life, anything. So yeah, that's good.
Because I mean, I wouldn't even say our lives are the most interesting things in the world.
No, absolutely not.
No.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I think it's good to get out here and talk about it,
Yeah. Absolutely.
decompress a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
Talk about how we suck.
Hey, if you
Talk
talk
about
about
how
all the
we
bad
are
things in your life, you
awesome.
know what's bad. Yeah. It's at least that's something. Yeah. You know what is bad if you can talk
I,
about it all the time.
yeah, I think we've talked about things that are good in our lives and things that are bad in our lives, and
Yeah.
it's good. It's good.
I mean, I do that with my players all the time. Like when they come up to me at like halftime or after a game and go, I did this wrong. And I was like, awesome. Thank you for telling me that. Like, now you know that, right? You know what you did wrong. Yeah. And they're like, oh, I guess. Yeah. And I was like, so how do you fix that? They kind of stare blankly sometimes. And then it's just like, you know, I try to at least coach in the way of like, I talk to them to make them understand it, like I don't
Hmm.
just like tell them this is what you have to do kind of thing. Like I know they understand the game. I know they understand what they should do in certain situations. So it's just present them with it and just kind of be like, what do you see here? What should you have done instead of this? And it's just, oh yeah, I could have gone that direction, passed that way, taken a touch this way type thing. Because I think there are a lot of things that you can just like teach to people in a lot of situations just through life lessons of just a lot of it is what you make of it. A lot of it's about perspective. A lot of it's knowing what you want to do before you get there. A lot of it's planning ahead. A lot of it is being able to be adaptable. Can you adapt to situations? Um,
Yep.
you can relate all of that back into soccer, but it's also very good life lessons or just
Yeah.
basic necessities of surviving in today's world.
Yeah. Which is something else. The world is something else.
Do we get you going on the
Leave,
dating scene now?
leave it at that. I mean, what do you want to know, man? I'll tell you anything you want to know.
You brought up relationships earlier.
Yeah. I just,
Where do you stand?
I
Like,
mean,
where does Noah stand in the world of relationships?
I think, uh, like myself personally, or are you
Yeah, like,
thinking like just
you happy with where you're at?
the broader? Oh, um, I think really for me, it's just being more confident and more comfortable, as we've been talking about,
Comfortable's not
with
bad.
myself,
Yeah.
really, like. I feel like, you know, the what's the old adage, like in order to love someone else, you have to love yourself first. And I I don't know if that's necessarily true, but sure, whatever. But I do think there is some merit to that where it's like, hey man, it's like you gotta, you know, have a little bit of maybe not and love yourself is pretty good. That's pretty good, but like you gotta have like some sort of confidence in yourself, stuff like that, in order to, you know, get into a relationship. And I'll be honest, I don't know if I have that right now.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's one
so
that's good to admit.
yeah, I'll just be yeah, I'll be honest. So um, just kind of thinking about that. Um, I'm not, you know, trying anything. I really do think I need to, you know, work on myself before I try and jump into anything. So
Yeah.
that's where
I
I'm
mean,
at.
that's the important thing to figure out and know about yourself. I
And
will
you know,
say,
I
oh,
know.
you,
Isn't no, I was just gonna say like as far
you got it.
I don't know if I want to go into that. Um, as far as like I know what I want in a relationship,
Okay.
but like obviously I know like I don't know how I want to word this. I'm not trying to be like picky. I guess I
You
am
don't
in a
know where you're
sense,
gonna
but
find
like
it.
I guess yeah,
Okay.
that's probably part of it. Like I know what I want, and I think it's basic things. It's nothing extravagant. I think it's what any like traditional, you know, man would want. At least I would think to some degree. But
Yeah.
you know, um, yeah, I just don't know where I'm gonna find that one. And you know, I think first I have to just, you know, reflect on myself and just kind of go from there, and then
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. I think for me, really, I just don't want to rush in. I just don't want to rush into anything. You know, I don't want to rush. You know, my self love, and then, you know, rush into a relationship, and then, you
Yeah.
know, that just be a whole other ordeal. So uh, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm I'm fine with where I'm at right now. I know what I have to work on. I know I have to work on myself, and then from there, you know, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree with you that I think the love yourself before you can truly love others kind of thing. Like I would say there's a lot of stock into that, I think.
Yeah.
Um, but I also think like there's nothing wrong with not being like 100% with yourself before you're in a relationship with somebody, you know?
Hmm.
I think as long as you are truly like in a place where you know what you want to go for and you're trying to go for it, and like just like in terms of yourself, not like in terms of trying to find a relationship or somebody that you want to be
Yep.
with,
Yep. Yep.
but
Hmm.
like working at yourself and working to be better. I think it's fine if like, you know, you haven't fully grasped or like checked off everything on that box yet. Like I don't think it's like a you have to check every single box off on yourself of this is what I want to do, like this to be better, to be the model human being for myself, and then you can get a relationship type thing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um because, you know, like I said, and as everyone probably just knows in general, things are constantly going to be changing. You're constantly going to be growing and changing, and things are going to change in your life. And even with your partner, that same thing's going to happen. They're going to constantly grow and change and go throughout things in their life that are going to happen. And I think as long as you are both in like the committed relationship with commitment towards each other and commitment towards your own growth and their growth, and they are committed to their own growth, I don't think there's anything wrong with, you know, being in a relationship when you're not 100% you, but as long as you're trying to work towards that, you know, because you're going to
Yeah.
grow with that person and that person's going to support you, you're going to support them. And if anything, that's just going to make it easier and make it better because
Mm.
you have, um, and at least the way I view things, and I think you would view things, and a lot of people would, like the person that you're dating, you're trying to you know, you see something in them, and that's the person you would want to spend the rest of your life with. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say with complete. Sorry, I'm not trying to cut you
No.
off again. I think I've been doing it a lot tonight, but I think I don't know if you would agree, but I think uh, I I agree with the adage, "You're dating to marry."
Right.
I mean, that's I'm not. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what I go by. I'm not dating to get heartbroken. Like what? That's just not like what I'm trying to do.
Right.
But yes, I agree.
Yeah. So you're constantly going through that with the person that you're investing into, like, long term. Like, that's just going to keep building and building and building and building and building and building. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. Rome's not built in a day, type, that whatever metaphor you want to use, that it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of effort. I
Mm,
could tell everyone, and everyone listening to this can tell you, relationships aren't easy. They don't always work
yeah,
out how you want. Um,
yeah,
it happens, but like, that doesn't mean don't put in an effort. Don't go for it if it's there. If you truly think you're in a place to be like going for a relationship and pursuing a relationship and growing with somebody, then I feel like you probably should be at a place where you're also ready to grow with yourself, you know, and focus on your own life a bit more, because it's really important that, like, in relationships, you don't lose sight of who you were before then, like before that started. Because
I
yes, it's
agree.
very, very important to care for that person, to make
Hmm.
sure that person has everything they could want in their life, because you should want them to have everything they want in their life. But at the same time, you still exist. Like,
Yep.
your life is just as important as theirs. Um, it's just, I see, maybe in my own past, or just like with people that I know, like, a lot of guys just kind of lose sight, focus just straight up in the relationship, and then when it ends, they feel left like with nothing,
Hmm.
because they put everything into that in a very unhealthy way. And it's sad, because like that, it's just misdirected, I think, is all it is. There wasn't a
Yeah.
right amount of balance, and then when that comes crashing down, it's just straight back down to square one. And a lot of the things that you had in that relationship, that you learned and gained, you can't really take away from it, because it wasn't for you, it was all for them you know
Yeah.
um you got to take time for yourself, do things for yourself in relationships. Otherwise, if it comes down to the point where it does end, all you're going to do is just hurt yourself more. That's going to, like, the
Yeah.
relationship's going to hurt you, and you're going to end up hurting yourself more. You got to be able
Yeah.
to focus on
I
yourself and be able to grow.
yeah. I definitely agree. I think too. I think I've kind of gotten like this like saturated mind of like my brain thinks it's you go to friends from high school or kids from high school, they're married, they have kids, I think that too, like in my brain is like, ooh, like, ooh, wow, they're doing this. And I think I've really done a good job with like, hey, like that's their life. I'm not them, I'm taking my life at my own pace. If I don't, if I don't get married at the age of 20, my late 20s, okay, fine, like whatever. You know what I mean? I just feel like, sometimes at first, especially when you get like out of college and stuff like that, and you see all these people, getting married, having kids, it's like, oh, like what am I doing wrong?
Right.
But I think what I have done really well with is like, sitting back and thinking like, hey, like I'm fine. I'm totally fine. Do it at my own pace
Right.
and just go from there. So
I think that's awesome, honestly.
so but yeah.
Because rushing
But
is
just
is a big way you get into those relationships, I think, of where one person's way too invested that the other person isn't,
yeah,
because you didn't take the time to figure out really what they wanted and how they feel about the future and what they look for in these types of things. And you rush it,
yeah,
and then it's later on, you're a few months in, and you go, oh, they don't really line up with what I want to do with the future. I mean, it
yeah,
can happen. People can change. It sucks when that happens. People's outlooks change, people's perspectives change, things happen in people's lives that you can't control. I think that goes into the of, like, things are what you make it. Relationships can be what you make it, but sometimes they're just things that are out of your control, and that's the really, 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 really shitty part. but that's just kind of how it goes. And in the most blunt and the nicest way, it is what it is. You just got to eventually take it for what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I've learned, just by talking here, and whether that's, tonight or just in general, I think, working on myself, and, what's kind of gonna be that motivator, what's gonna be that switch for me where, I'm gonna do something, I
Yeah.
think is what I'm kind of just thinking about right now. So, um, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I'm left with.
The food for thought, if you're still listening at this point, what does it take? What does
Yeah.
it take for you to make that switch? What does it take to tick? What does it take for you to finally get going and tick off those things on your list? Tick off the things you've been thinking about when you're on these drives. You take your time to yourself. And if you haven't, we truly encourage taking that time to yourself. Whatever it might be that helps you get to those moments where you think about things, do that. And then ask yourself that question of, what is it actually going to take for me to do it?
Yeah. Way to circle back there too to the whole night drive thing. Wow, look at you, man.
I would always circle back to a night drive.
I
Come on.
love it.
I might take one tonight.
It's good. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff.
It's too
Do a lot
expensive
of
this
do.
economy to take unscheduled night drives. It has to be with a purpose.
Understood. There you
Not
go.
not in this
There's the
economy.
lesson. Gotta have a purpose.
Yeah.
Understood.
Exactly. Find your purpose. Boom.
Yep.
Which is easy.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
not easy.
I got it. We're good then.
We're good. Yeah, we've been running pretty long here.
About
Hey,
an
man.
hour, yeah.
Whenever I get beat, we get. I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but hey, it's good though, man. I like doing it. This is, again, this is, this is why I like doing this stuff. Being able to kind of speak an open mind. Talk about things in life, and just things that kind of bringing thoughts to someone else, and to just out, instead of it being all in here. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
good. It's good.
We have leveled up from our early days of shithouse topics.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on in the sports world today? Oh, did you see that? Did you see this? Did you
Do
pick up
you
this guy in
do you want to
fantasy?
talk about that?
What?
Just there's a podcast that
Oh,
went around.
yeah,
Do you guys
yeah,
want to talk
yeah,
about
yeah,
that? Yeah, we can.
yeah, 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 sure, yeah,
uh yeah.
yeah,
We're getting there. I think we're finding a flow here,
yeah, little by little. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. I'd be down to, if I come down. I mean, I guess I'm looking to come down soon, but I'll come down if Columbus plays.
Yeah.
I'll try and catch that game. Maybe we do something in person. Maybe
Maybe.
potentially.
I'm hoping the final's on a Sunday. I really hope, because if it's a Saturday, I
Oh yeah,
probably
because I
can't.
said, yeah, I forgot about that. You did say you might have games, so
Yeah.
it's tough. Okay.
Yep.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, man, just kind of coming on here and talking about stuff, life, world, thoughts. That's all I got, man. Sorry, I'm just kind of rambling here at the end. My bad.
All right, we'll close it out before we just sit here for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, 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 all good, all good.
Okay.
No problem.
Yeah. Ask yourself the question. It'll be in the title probably. So it'll be right there for you the whole time.
Pop the question.
Mm-hmm. Just do it.
All right. Check out the store, guys. Let us know, thoughts about anything. Give us feedback,
Mm-hmm.
everything podcast wise, and store wise. So love that.
All right.
Love you guys.
Peace.
peace, and chicken grease.